You were right. I was not going to be ready for these questions.
Well, if the hot dog is this way, it's gonna go like that.
It grows lengthwise.
I feel like it'd grow long ways because, you know, if you ever think of like the jumbo, like hot dogs or whatever, they're just extended. They're not width or height wise.
Vertically?
Which way is vertically?
Up.
A hot dog expands outwards. That's why when you pull your hot dog from the microwave, there is breakage along the skin along the outside of the cylinder.
Instead of expanding this way, we're saying it expands like this way, right? This is our...
It gets girthier.
It gets girthier because that's the way that science...
Torture.
A weapon. A weapon.
Nunchucks, you know, minus the nunchuck part. So I feel like you could use it, throw it, you know. You can use it to measure stuff. You find out the exact measurements and then use it to measure things with it.
You can put a whole bunch of papers in it and it'll hold it, like without even having a staple. You just kind of like wedge it in there, get in there.
You can use it to play baseball with as a ball. You wouldn't use that as a bat. It's not long enough to be a bat.
Weapon, decoration, and food preparation. It looks really cool when you open it up and set it on its ends. It's like a teepee.
I think the difficult part is to this question is that there are. I don't know that there are a whole lot of other uses for it without staples. You could take the individual parts of the stapler and potentially use them, but then it goes back to what are the individual parts of the stapler and how are they useful?
To like talk with?
Doorstop, probably.
You could use it to try to clamp down something, I guess.
Like a stapler?
Well, without this. Yeah, like a stapler.
It is. Wanna know why? In soups, it's like a whole bunch of stuff in a liquid. But there is actually cold soups, like in like the world, like cold soups. So it's just like, oh hey, it's like in soup, but it's not a savory. So that would be like the only like comeback somebody could have, is like, oh well, soups are like savory. Well, cereal is too, but it's sweet. So
No.
Because it's like two different, well,
soup is hot.
yeah,
First place,
but
like
with cereal, it's like, it's more of a breakfast meal.
Cereal is not a soup because I feel like in order for a soup to be soup, it has to be hot.
Cereal is, in fact, soup. I argue this by saying, is soup soup? Is stew soup? Is a liquid hot or cold, speaking of a hot stew or a cold stew, with chunks of things in them, which can usually be barleys, wheats, meats? Now tell me, what is cereal made of? Wheats and barleys, especially if you get that whole grain. You put that into your milk, which is in a lot of stews as well, to thicken it up, make it creamier. That is a soup, but it is just cold.
I raise you this. Is oatmeal a soup?
We're doing the questions from here on out, George.
Is oatmeal a soup?
Let's switch. The people are my favorite part.
It's very sweet.
I really get to learn. I get to come in here whenever I want, as long as there's not an event going on, and I can mess around with the sound board or the light board and kind of learn my way and kind of do self-paced growing.
Really getting to be with so many people all the time, and working in the office and at the information desk, it's a different experience every day.
My favorite thing about working at JBK is the people, the management, my coworkers. They're all really fun. I enjoy that we all can hang out and take work seriously. So it's a pretty cool environment.
I get to learn new skills and I build up my strength, I guess you could say, because I have to move a lot of objects.
mine is learning like new things and meeting new people.
I get to work with you and students like you. Anonymously.
Probably there was a night where my worlds kind of collided. I also work for a Hillside Christian Church, and they did an event here in this room, and I kind of got to show them what I do on a daily basis with my job here at the JBK.
ACUI and getting to, well, it's not technically here, but getting to go on the ACUI trip. And we went to In-N-Out while I wore my cat pajamas at 1 a.m. We walked over there in the cold.
The first year we did the midnight study breaks, we decided to try to do s'mores out of the fireplace in the commons. Chance went to start the fire and smoke started coming out into the commons while people were studying at midnight, right?
Is that a best memory? Yes, for some people. What memory is best of like giving grief to Chance? That's probably not one of them.
And I was like, Chance, you got to put it out. You got to put it out. And I'm like yelling at him while this is happening. And so we grabbed water bottles and put the fire out. Long story short, the fire department came.
In 2010, when the university celebrated its 100th year anniversary, they had a big cake. Expansion wasn't here, so it was all in the commons. And there was probably, 700 people in the commons. It was packed. And they had a ginormous cake and lots of cupcakes, and it was just a great time.
The first graduation where I got to sit behind the soundboard and be like, wow, I can control all of this. So I could ruin graduation with one swoop of a hand. With 2 minutes to spare.
Got the job.
Congrats. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Get back to work. Get out of here.
All right.
That was so fun. That hot dog question really got me.